Welcome. We are continuing with the understanding of the definition of murder under section 300 IPC. Let us visit this text word by word, clause by clause, comma by comma, sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph, as each thing in this composition, in this text, is legally enforceable. It is not that anything here is not to be lawfully enforceable situation. Each word in it. So when we say the Indian Penal Code, that means section 300, we say it is murder. So all these things are having their reference, and these are fixed references. Now let us start visiting this text. 300, murder. Accept. The first word used is accept. Means there is something which is not to be considered here. What is that? In the cases hereinafter accepted. So there is certain assumptions, there are certain things which have been taken out of this definition. What these are? These are given at the end as exception 1, exception 2, exception 3. We will be coming to it afterwards. Why we will be coming to it afterwards? Because first we want to understand what precisely is murder. Now, the except in the cases hereinafter accepted, comma. Now, this clause as such is being not considered by us at present. We are jumping over it. The next phrase is culpable homicide is murder. So it is a complete definition. Culpable homicide is murder. So what is culpable? Punishable. What is homicide? Death of a man. And it is murder. Then it is explained. When it is murder, if it will be murder if, number one, it doesn't come within the exceptions, and otherwise positively means if the act by which death is caused. So here the word used is act, and we'll go to the definition of an act. It includes omissions also.
Good morning.
Simply, let's say, for example, a superintendent of a jail is under authority to provide a food to a prisoner. He doesn't provide a food to a prisoner, say for a number of days, and the prisoner dies. So it is an omission which includes in this act. Now, keep in mind how that omission will ultimately become the murder. See, you said culpable is murder. No, it is what we are going to visit. The beginning is if the act by which death is caused. So, focus is upon an act, the act which is responsible for the death. So, death being in furtherance of the commission of an offense or omission as well. So, always we have to remind ourselves the positive act or the negatively omission, or if responsible for the death, then that act or omission is being considered here. Any other act is being not considered. So one particular specific act or specific omission is being taken as being a murder. So act or omission is to result into a death. Therefore, the first ingredient of this offense will be death having been caused. If death is not caused, then there is no murder. Whatever else it may be, attempt to murder, anything else, many things may be there. But murder is not there. So for the murder, the first ingredient is death. Now, what is death? It in itself is not defined, but broadly, each one of us have an idea. but ultimately, in the strict legal sense, it results into a certificate of a doctor. So here we have to be very conscious, as the death is the first ingredient. So what is death? Who will declare there is a death or not? And all these aspects around the word death are to be considered and kept in mind. But the broad thing is, death is the first ingredient. Now it is said, when death is caused, is means that death act, if the act is done with the intention of causing death, if the particular act or omission which has resulted into death has been done with the intention of causing death, when there is no intention to cause a death, for example, a child, innocent child, 4 years, 5 years, he even cannot form an intention. However, he, because of any situation, pours a poison into the food of a mother, and death stands caused. Now, act is directly responsible for the death. However, the intention behind the act is missing. Therefore, the first situation, in a way, first group of acts, first set of acts or omissions which become murder, is when that act has resulted into death, an act has been caused with the intention to cause a death. So here the whole focus is upon the intention behind the act. So intention behind the act is the focus of this first category of acts being taken as murder. Now, in this context, let us go to this second category. Secondly, if it is done with the intention of causing such bodily injury as the offender knows to be likely to cause the death. Now, see the shift here. In the previously, there has been complete 100% concentration, focus upon the intention for the act was to cause death. A intended to cause death. Death has resulted in all that. Now, in this second category, the intention is simply to cause bodily injury. Intention is not to cause death. So the focus shifts. At the first phase, the entire focus is, the focus of the intention is to cause death. Death and only death. Therefore, there the only thing to be considered is what has been the intention. If the intention was to cause a death, then it will fall in the first category. However, if the intention has been to cause a bodily injury, means injury to a body except the death, the initial intention of the offender being to cause a bodily injury. However, together with it, what is provided is, as the offender knows to be likely to cause the death, his intention is to cause a bodily injury, but he knows this may result into a death as well. It is likely to cause a death. Not that certainly it will cause a death. For example, A, if pushes somebody from a running vehicle, then if the push is at a particular speed, at particular place, that there is a cave in adjoining side or rail is going to pass through it, or many vehicles are to pass through it, then he may have a knowledge that if such what bodily injury he is going to cause, it is likely to cause a death. So two things are there. Intention is to cause a bodily injury, but knowledge is there that such bodily injury is likely to cause death. Therefore, the gravity of the intention at the first clause is 100% as to cause a death. In the second category, there has been an intention to cause bodily injury, but it was within the knowledge that the same is likely to cause a death, and death has occurred. So occurrence of death is the first ingredient. If death is not caused, intention was to cause a bodily injury, there was knowledge that is likely to cause a bodily injury, but still death has not occurred, then it will not be a murder. So the first ingredient is a death, culpable homicide, then intention to cause a death and death having been resulted into by an act as a result of act. And then it is intention was to cause a bodily injury, but knowledge was there that bodily injury which he is intending to cause and which he is acting to cause and for which he has acted is likely to cause a death, even then it becomes a murder. Now let us go a step ahead. The third category. Thirdly, if it is done with intention of causing bodily injury to any person, and the bodily injury intended to be inflicted is sufficient in the ordinary course of nature to cause death. Now see the difference. Here there is intention to cause a bodily injury with respect to which offender has a knowledge that same is likely to cause a death. However, in the third category, intention is to cause a bodily injury and there is no further knowledge, but the injury is sufficient in ordinary course of nature to cause a death. Therefore, there simple intention remains, and intention remains for a bodily injury. However, the bodily injury as it is by its very nature is sufficient to cause death in ordinary course of nature. Therefore, the knowledge here, though specifically is being not mentioned, however, when we'll go to the presumptions under the Indian Evidence Act, then we will appreciate as to how particular knowledge is to be attributed as well within the knowledge of the person. So presumption about the knowledge is one aspect, but here in the specific situation, all what is said is that the intention should be to cause a bodily injury. For example, A puts a sword through and through the body. He says, I was simply intending to cause a bodily injury with a sword to cross through his bottom from front part to the last part. But this injury in itself, independent of the intention, independent of a knowledge, independent of anything else, as a phenomenon, as an act, as a physical act, this act as injury is sufficient in the ordinary course of nature to cause death, and death has occurred. Therefore, here one cannot say that he was not having intention to cause a death and he was not having a knowledge that it will cause a death. So, in the third category, the intention remains to cause a bodily injury. However, the injury in itself is having features which are of the category of sufficient to cause death in ordinary course of nature. For example, somebody has given an arrow passed through the body of a man. Now his intention may be simply to cause a injury, and that is sufficient to cause a death in ordinary course of nature. However, if immediately some medical aid would have followed, that could have been averted. This cannot be taken as any defense, because injury which caused death was sufficient in ordinary course of nature to cause death. So intention was not to cause death, or he had no knowledge about it, or that if medical evidence would have been provided, the same would have been averted, or being not taken into consideration in this particular third category. Now let us go to the fourth. If the person committing the act knows, now it is whole focus is upon the knowledge. If the person committing the act knows it is so eminently dangerous that it must in all probability cause death or such bodily injury as is likely to cause death, and commit such act, then there. So here intention is absolutely absent. No intention here. As one superintendent of a jail left the jail without any instructions for a food or other things, and then he proceeds on leave for a number of days, and the man prisoner dies because of want of food, etc., etc., etc. Now he knows that this danger which he is causing, the act which he is conducting for such a large number of days, which will add to all probability to cause a death. Now here, such like situations will come within the category of class 4. So let us now revisit. See, the first ingredient of murder is death. Death of a man. Death caused because of act or omission of an offender. Then the act or omission of the offender is categorized in terms of the intention and knowledge. Now, solely intention aspect is in class 1. If the act is done, is act by which the death is caused is done with the intention of causing death, knowledge has no ingredient aspect here, only intention. If we go to class 4, here the ingredient focus is upon the knowledge. Now intention in itself is being considered in first category. Knowledge only is being considered in fourth category. Now second and third categories are where intention and knowledge both are there. In second category, intention and knowledge both are there. But in third category, there is only intention, and then there is a feature of the injury. So sufficiency of injury in itself is an independent aspect. Therefore here 3 things comes in: intention, knowledge, and the nature of the gravity of the injury. So gravity of the injury in itself plays its specific role in third category. So in first category, only intention. In second category, intention and knowledge both. In the third category, intention and the nature of the injury. And in the fourth category, it is the knowledge. Now, this way we can approach this definition, but this is only first visit to this definition. Now, this definition at the outset says, except in the cases hereinafter accepted. Therefore, this definition, these all the four categories as such are to be tested in reference to three exceptions legislated as part of section 300 itself. So the text of section 300 IPC is the text as we have read up till the four different situation categories which result into murder, and then it is followed by three exceptions, exception 1, exception 2, exception. We will come to it afterwards. Then other thing to be seen is to have a proper appreciation of this definition. It deserves to be read along with section 299. Section 299 is attempt to murder. When murder is complete, it is 300. When murder is not complete, then it may remain up till 299 or some other lower categories of offenses. Therefore, we have to read this definition firstly in reference to three exceptions given in the text of section 300 itself. Then we have to read it in reference to section 299 to have a proper appreciation as to how fine degree of difference is there in the nature of the different phases and stages of the same act resulting into different offenses. Attempt to murder in itself is an offense, and murder is also an offense. Therefore, to have full appreciation of definition of section 300, we shall appreciate it in reference to section 299. The another aspect to be considered is that the Indian Evidence Act is having a full chapter of presumptions. What is to be presumed, that is not to be proved. Therefore, we have to read this definition in the context of the presumption under Indian Evidence Act. Further, we have to read this provision in the light of Chapter 6 of Indian Penal Code, where general exceptions are provided. And finally, it is to be read in the light of the definition of a charge and the provisions of charge under Chapter 17 of the Criminal Procedure Code. And finally, above all, it is to be considered from the point of view that judicial mind is to be applied to form an opinion whether or not charge is to be framed. Therefore, let us approach this definition from all these angles, and then we will continue visiting this text from the point of view of exceptions in the next session. Thank you.
The whatever you have explained, Uncle, is all very clearly mentioned the illustrations as well. The illustration which are given below section 300, those are also indicating exactly the same thing what you have explained.
They are trying to give us deeper appreciation in the reality situations which will arise, but still take it, these illustrations as such are not part of the text of the definition. These are elaborated, but
Yeah.
certainly these cannot be cited as complete answer, though it will help have appreciation of the interpretation of the clause. We will go
But
through, we will go
there
for
can
the
be
help,
there.
we will go for the help of the illustrations, but still, while reaching at the definition of murder, we should go by the golden rule of interpretation, as the words as these are being chosen to have this composition shall be given ordinary natural meanings.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.